Okay, so ready for another deep dive?
Yeah, let's do it. What do we got today?
Today, we're going into, well, it's chess.
Chess. Okay, I like chess.
But it's also like a dress code controversy.
Yeah.
And like a world champion who basically just walked away from it all.
Oh, okay, so this is juicy. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So even if you aren't a, like, hardcore chess fan, I think this is going to be interesting. It's really about principles and, like, power dynamics even, and maybe a bit of a, a little bit of a rebel streak.
Okay, I'm all for rebel streaks.
Yeah. So we're going to be diving into the story of Magnus Carlsen, who, he is the current world chess champion.
Oh, yeah, I know Carlsen. He's pretty famous.
Yeah. He's known for just being amazing at chess.
Right.
But also kind of having a pretty strong personality. And recently, he ended withdrawing from the World Rapid and Blitz Championship.
Oh, wow, really? Why?
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Jeans.
Jeans. Like denim jeans.
Yeah, jeans.
How-
So picture this. Carlsen shows up at the championship,
Okay.
right? He's ready to play. But he's wearing jeans. And, well, that goes against the tournament's dress code.
Okay, I mean, I guess I can see that. Dress codes can be pretty strict, but still.
So the officials, they're not messing around. They hit him with a $200 fine, and they tell him to change. Like, right then and there.
Wow. Talk about enforcing the rule.
And get this. Carlsen's fine with the fine. Like, he agrees to pay it.
Okay.
But he says that he has a problem with them telling him to change. Like, right that second, on the spot. He thinks it's a matter of principle.
Oh, interesting. So it wasn't about the dress code itself, but how they handled it.
Yeah, like he actually said, quote, at that point, it became a bit of a matter of principle for me.
Okay, I see. So like a stand on autonomy, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. And then here's the kicker, because they wouldn't back down and let him change. Later, he withdraws from the entire championship.
What? Are you serious? Over jeans?
Over jeans?
That's incredible. I can't help but think there might be more to this story. I mean, Carlsen's a world champion. He wouldn't just throw away a title over a pair of pants, right?
That's what makes it so fascinating, right? Well, it might seem like he's just, like, being stubborn.
Yeah.
But maybe it's deeper than that,
Right. It really gets you thinking about, like, when we should just follow the rules and when it's okay to kind of push back against them. Like, is there ever a time when personal expression is more important than just fitting in, even in a super formal setting?
Yeah, like where do we draw that line, right? Between like fitting in and standing out, Between just following the rules and being yourself.
That's a really good point. It's not always so clear cut.
Yeah. And especially when you consider that, this is Magnus Carlsen.
Oh, yeah, he's got a reputation, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's not really known for, just going with the flow. Remember that whole thing a while back where he accused another player of cheating? That caused a massive uproar in the chess world.
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
So maybe, just maybe, this whole jeans thing, it's just another example of him not being afraid to challenge the way things are usually done. Like, he's willing to take a stand, even if it means, giving up a championship title.
Yeah, and he did actually say this too. Honestly, I am too old at this point to care too much. Which is a pretty bold thing to say, considering he's the world champion.
Yeah, that's a statement. Like, he's reached a point where he's not willing to compromise his values, even for something as big as a championship.
Yeah, and I mean, he also said, if this is what they want to do, I guess it goes both ways, right? Nobody wants to back down, and this is where we are. It's fine by me. It doesn't sound like he had any regrets.
He sounds very at peace with his decision, which is pretty remarkable considering the stakes.
Yeah, and I think that kind of gets at the heart of it, right? This is chess. It's a game all about strategy and logic. But this situation, it brings up all these really human questions, like about individual choice, about conformity, and yeah, like you said, about power dynamics.
Absolutely. And, the organizers of the tournament, they maintain that they were just applying the rules like to everyone equally. They even pointed to another incident where a player was fined for wearing the wrong shoes and they complied.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So they're basically saying, we're just being consistent.
But does that make it okay? Does that mean that their actions towards Carlsen were actually justified? Or does it actually point to, like, a lack of flexibility in the rules, in the system? Like, where context and individual circumstances don't really matter.
Yeah, it's tough. I can see both sides. On one hand, rules are there for a reason. They create a level playing field. But on the other hand, there has to be room for common sense and understanding.
Exactly.
And you have to remember, Carlsen, he's kind of a big deal in the chess world. Do you think his status, his fame, played a role in all of this? Like, did it give him more power to make a statement? Maybe the officials wouldn't have reacted the same way to a lesser known player?
I think it probably did. It's like, even in a game that seems so objective, like chess, there are still all these layers of human interaction. Like power dynamics are always at play, and sometimes even something as simple as what you're wearing, it becomes about way more than just clothing.
Definitely. Like, it becomes a symbol for something bigger.
Right. So what can we take away from all of this? I think it's clear that this wasn't just about genes. It was about principles, about conformity, about power, all playing out in this world of chess. And maybe it can make you think about the rules we encounter every day. Like, would you ever be willing to sacrifice something important for a principle, like Carlsen did?
It's a tough question, isn't it? What are our non-negotiables?
Yeah, and what does that say about us?
That's something we're thinking about.
Yeah, I think so too.